In this lesson, you will learn what Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response, SOAR, is, and how FortiSOAR can help Security Operations Center, SOC, teams. You will also learn about FortiSOAR architecture and some initial configuration. In this lesson, you will learn about the topics shown on this slide. After completing this section, you should be able to achieve the objectives shown on this slide. By demonstrating competence in SOAR, you will be able to describe the basics of SOAR technology and understand SOC maturity. Gartner defines SOAR as technologies that enable organizations to take inputs from a variety of sources, mostly from security information and event management, SIM systems, and apply workflows aligned to processes and procedures. Orchestration is the process of collecting data, which is usually alerts and incidents from different sources, and performing various actions from one platform. Orchestration also helps you to streamline and optimize frequently occurring processes and workflows. Automation and orchestration are different but related concepts. Automation enables security teams to be more efficient by reducing or replacing human interaction with IT systems, and instead use a centralized platform to perform tasks in order to reduce cost, complexity, and errors. Automated workflows and response enable the security teams to automatically respond to security events. Incident response is an organized approach to addressing and managing the aftermath of a security breach or cyber attack, also known as an IT incident, computer incident, or security incident. The goal is to handle the situation in a way that limits damage and reduces recovery time and costs. SOAR is the technology that can orchestrate data, automate workflows, and respond to incidents. All of that can be performed from a single platform. The majority of organizations juggle at least 50 discrete A Security Operations Center, SOC, is a facility that houses an information security team responsible for monitoring and analyzing an organization's security posture on an ongoing basis. The SOC team's goal is to detect, analyze, and respond to cybersecurity incidents using a combination of technology solutions and a strong set of processes. Security Operations Centers are typically staffed with security analysts and engineers, as well as managers who oversee security operations. SOC staff work closely with organizational incident response teams to ensure security issues are addressed quickly upon discovery. Security Operations Centers monitor and analyze activity on networks, servers, endpoints, databases, applications, websites, and other systems, looking for anomalous activity that could be indicative of a security incident or compromise. The SOC is responsible for ensuring that potential security incidents are correctly identified, analyzed, defended, investigated, and reported. Good job! You now understand SOAR. Now, you will learn about SOC alert handling and triage. After completing this section, you should be able to achieve the objectives shown on this slide. By demonstrating competence in SOC alert handling and triage, you will learn how a SOC team handles alerts and the process of triage and escalation. At Level 3, incorporate automated response with SOAR. The cyber threat landscape is accelerating as cyber criminals increasingly rely upon automation to speed up their attacks. While single pane of glass visibility speeds up at the rate at which a security team can identify a potential threat, A reliance on manual incident response processes means that defenders will always be a step behind the attackers. SOAR solutions enable an organization's security team to leverage automation to speed incident response. By creating an automated framework to tie together an organization's complete security architecture, defensive actions can be taken by multiple different systems in concert. This minimizes the context switching required of security personnel, decreasing alert fatigue, and speeding incident response. FortiSOAR also enables an organization to optimize its security processes by leveraging well-defined security playbooks. By automating repetitive tasks and responses to common threats, FortiSOAR enables the security team to focus their efforts and limited resources on higher-level tasks. Good job. You now understand SOC alert handling and triage. Now you will learn about FortiSOAR architecture. After completing this section, you should be able to achieve the objectives shown on this slide. By demonstrating competence in FortiSOAR architecture, you will learn about FortiSOAR architecture and various platforms on which you can install FortiSOAR. In an enterprise architecture, there is one single instance of FortiSOAR. You can ingest data using connectors into FortiSOAR from various devices in your infrastructure. When available, it is recommended that most logs be sent through the SIEM rather than through direct connectors. This ensures the SIEM is a central point of log aggregation and can be used for analytics and reporting. After you integrate your FortiSIEM or any other SIEM solution with FortiSOAR, incidents generated by FortiSIEM are ingested by FortiSOAR. Every incident that is sent from FortiSIEM to FortiSOAR is a unique record on FortiSOAR. You can run remediation playbooks from FortiSOAR against those incidents and perform remediation action on the target devices. For example, if the logs that are sent by FortiGate to FortiSIEM generate an incident that indicates an external malicious actor is trying to access corporate resources, then FortiSOAR evaluates that incident and rates that external IP against various threat intelligence platforms. If the IP is malicious, then you can run a remediation playbook to take action against that IP address. In the scenario shown on this slide, the solution is to block that IP on the FortiGate firewall. The playbook can automatically log in to FortiGate and put that IP on the quarantine list for an indefinite period of time. In the case of shared tenancy, tenants share the same system as the primary device. That is, tenants are local, but with restricted access on the system. The SOC team provides cybersecurity monitoring and management to various tenants in a single FortiSOAR instance. The shared tenancy model ensures that the data belonging to different tenants is segregated, and data access is controlled using RBAC. Therefore, a tenant can view only their own data or record and not the data of other tenants. You can give each tenant their own login, which they can use to view their dashboards, report, check the actions taken on their records, check their SLA management, and so on. A big benefit of the FortiSOAR form factor is scalability. If your company grows and you start sending more data to FortiSOAR than what it was initially configured to handle, you can upgrade the VM and add more resources. It's easy to add CPUs, memory, and even storage to VMs. There are no charges or fees from Fortinet, unlike some vendors that charge by the number of CPUs used. The minimum hardware requirements for one instance of FortiSOAR are 8 vCPU, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and 1 terabyte of storage. There are no side limits for the records database and no charges or fees for storing months or years worth of data. That's important to note when considering compliance reporting. And PCI, or HIPAA, requires that you store a year's worth of data in order to provide appropriate audit reports. It's very easy to determine how much storage you'll need. Good job! You now understand FortiSOAR architecture. Now you will learn about FortiSOAR initial configuration. After completing this section, you should be able to achieve the objectives shown on this slide. By demonstrating competence in FortiSOAR initial configuration, you will learn about FortiSOAR deployment, licensing, and configuration options that will help you get FortiSOAR up and running. The FortiSOAR license can be of the following types. Perpetual. This type of license provides you with a license for an unlimited time for FortiSOAR. Perpetual trial. This type of license provides you with a free trial license for an unlimited time for FortiSOAR, but in a limited context. That is, with restrictions on the number of users and actions that can be performed in FortiSOAR in a day. By default, this license is an enterprise-type license and is restricted to 3 users using FortiSOAR for a maximum of 200 actions a day. Subscription. This type of license is a regular license that gives you subscription to FortiSOAR for a particular number of users and a specific time frame. You can renew your subscription and change the number of users as per your requirements. FortiSOAR will synchronize with the FDN server and retrieve the latest subscription. Evaluation. This type of license allows you to evaluate FortiSOAR. The evaluation license is shipped with a predefined user count and expiry date. Good job! You now understand FortiSOAR initial configuration. Now you will learn about FortiSOAR overview. After completing this section, you should be able to achieve the objectives shown on this slide. By demonstrating competence in FortiSOAR overview, you will explore some of the important features of FortiSOAR and how a SOC can mature by using FortiSOAR. When you escalate an alert on FortiSOAR, it becomes an incident. Every incident on FortiSOAR can be considered as a ticket that an analyst will need to work on until they close the incident. The FortiSOAR queue management feature provides you with an overview of the work, records that must be completed, and enables you to assign pending work to users. You can also reassign assignments in case of absence or analyst shift changes. Administrators can create applicable dashboards throughout the application. The dashboards are assigned to users based on their roles. For example, you can create a dashboard that displays alerts that are critical and high, and then assign them to users who have the role of handling alerts. Users can prioritize their work by looking at their dashboard, which displays critical and high alerts. FortiSOAR gives you the option to assign levels of accessibility to users using role-based access control, RBAC, combined with team membership. You can grant users access to specific modules in FortiSOAR based on their role permissions. Users exercise their permissions in conjunction with their team memberships. Use connectors to send and retrieve data from various third-party sources. Using connectors, you can interface to external cybersecurity tools and perform various automated interactions using FortiSOAR playbooks. FortiSOAR has already developed a number of connectors that can be used to integrate with a number of external cybersecurity tools like SIEM, such as FortiSIEM, and ticketing systems such as Jira. You can use connectors in playbooks for various action-related tasks, such as getting an object from a firewall device, blocking an IP address on a firewall, disabling an account on Active Directory, getting data for enrichment of an indicator, and so on. FortiSOAR also enables administrators to develop custom connectors. You can write a custom connector manually, or you can use the FortiSOAR Connector Software Development Kit, SDK, to develop your custom connector. Congratulations! You have completed this lesson. Now, you will review the objectives that you covered in this lesson. This slide shows the objectives that you covered in this lesson. By mastering the objectives covered in this lesson, you learned how to deploy FortiSOAR and configure its initial settings. You also learned about various key features of FortiSOAR and how these features can help a SOC mature and reduce the alert fatigue of SOC analysts.